I'm Chris with CJM Industries. In this video I'm going to show you how to install our rear diffuser on a Mark 7.5 GLI. We only need a couple tools for this install. You can do a ratchet or a drill driver. I have a T20, a T30, a drill with a 6mm or 1/4 inch drill bit. Either one's fine. I got a 10mm wrench. I have 2 squeeze clamps. These are convenient if you're working alone. If you have someone helping you, you might not need these. All of our hardware is included. It's all countersunk stainless, so it'll sit flush on the bottom of the car. We also make these with different fin options. So the base plate and the spats are the same, but if you want to switch the look, you're a year into running this and you want something different, we sell just the fin packs also. So that's kind of the selling point of this, is that you can change it over time. The fins attach onto this with a screw, but you don't have to take this off once it's on the car. So you mount this the first time, you can swap the fins real quick with just a single screw per. So I'll show you how this goes together. So we can start with our base plate and one of our fins. You'll see countersunk holes are going to be on the bottom. We'll have a slot that goes up. So fin's going to slide in there. And you'll notice that the hole on the fin can slide forward and back. You want to make sure that you line it up with the brass insert. We make this slightly oversized so that there is a little bit of adjustment there, and then you can throw that fin screw in there. These are going to be the small black flange button head screws, and this is going to be a T20. These just need to be tight to touch the top of the fin. We don't have a specific torque spec for these, but you want to just be careful. Either do it by hand or do it gently with a drill. You don't want to over tighten it because you could spin the brass insert in the bottom. All right, with our fins on there, we're all set to start putting this on the car. I'm doing this on a lift so you can see the underside and kind of the inside. I'll show you where everything lines up. But if you're doing this at home, if you just have jack stands or a set of car ramps even, that'll be plenty of space that you can work under here. Valence stays on the car while we're doing this install, so this is real quick and easy. We can start with the center section. We'll hold this up in place, get a rough eyeball of where it needs to go. I'm going to use a clamp on each side. I'm going to come in at an angle and just clamp around the fin here at the bottom. I have this clamped in place just to show you where I'm using. This edge comes in at like a 45 in comparison to the front curve. So I'm going to go from the fin, inside of the fin, to that edge. That'll kind of pull the thing outward to the side. If we do that on both sides here, see I'm doing the same thing over here. That's going to just pull this in and roughly center it. I could do a fine adjustment here. I'll just slide it left or right. One thing to keep an eye on is where the exhaust tip comes out. There's a flat face there that extends all the way around. We're leaving that exposed so it looks like it continues all the way down. So this should be kind of flush with that inside edge here. You'll repeat that on both sides just to make sure that you're centered. The other thing that you can reference to get an idea is going to be up here inside the fin. You can see that we got the corner of a hexagon with a small gap there. It's easy to visually tell, there and to the other side if you're centered left, right. As long as your clamp's not pushing this at an angle, that'll be a good reference also. The most important part of this install is to get this whole thing tight to the valence. This creates a little bit of tension so that this is going to be pulling into the valence and keep the fins tight over time. So you want to make sure you do this step. On the inside edge of the valence, you'll see the part that comes out kind of at a 45 facing down, and the fin has that same contour. You want to make sure that those are touching at least halfway across the length there. That's just going to ensure that you're far enough in. Once we have that, we can drill our center hole here. I'm going to do a bolt, a washer on top, and then a nut. To reach in there, it's a little tight, at least for the center one. Easiest way I found was to reach in between the exhaust and the section of the valence here. So I'll stick my bolt up in there so I can feel where I'm reaching, and I can reach my whole arm in here. I'll drop our washer on, and then our nut. While I have my hand in here, I will also just put this nut on finger tight as far as I can. And that'll at least hold our position. Now, I would suggest moving out to the next one out. So you got 5 holes here, do the next 2 outside. We'll repeat here. This is a lot easier to reach using that same coming in from the inside of the exhaust. We can do the same thing with this last one. We're gonna use a T30 here to tighten these. They are serrated nuts. Sometimes you'll get lucky and they'll just catch. And you'll see that one tightened up without even using a wrench. That one I'm gonna have to reach. Alright, so I'll just tighten them until the valence, or the diffuser base plate pulls up to the valence. And take these off, and that's good to go. Now if you were going to swap a fin, because you were going to a different style, you can remove that fin screw and pop these right off, slide on your new fin. To install our side spats, we're just bolting these up underneath here. We're going to drill a couple holes again. These have a little slot in the spat itself. That's going to align with this slot where the valence meets this piece of trim that goes to the fender liner. I'd suggest removing this one fender liner screw right here. It'll give you a little more access to get your hand in here to reach that front bolt. So let's do that first. This one's a T20 also. That just lets you pull the fender liner down to reach in here. So you have a left and a right. Countersunk holes are going to face down. I'll hold this up here. We're going to line up flush with the front at the fender liner. Again, use this notch just as a second reference. The notch is about 3-4 millimeters wide. The edge closest to the back of the car is going to align with the seam. So you'll be able to look in that slot and see. You want to line up the edge closest to the rear of the car with the seam itself there, and that should also match up with your being flush on the fender liner here. And then out back, same idea. We talked about that flat edge where the exhaust cutout is. That's going to be visible. You'll see the spat is notched to leave that open. So I'm roughly where I want to be. I'll get this clamped in place. And then I'll just fine tune, make sure that it didn't move around while I was clamping. I think we're good there. Back here looks good. So I'm going to drill this rear one first. That's going to be the most visible as far as alignment goes. So I want to make sure again that that flat face for the exhaust cutout lines up nice. Drill that. The spats do not use a washer, just the bolt and a nut. I'm going to jump down to the middle where that notch is. With all those drilled and installed, nuts just finger tight at this point, I can tighten these. And then last thing we're going to do is reattach that fender liner screw that we removed. Get an idea what that looks like, and I'll take some video once this is on the ground. So I'll just repeat this on the other side here. I'll do this real quick.